Welcome to the On Home and Office podcast series, featuring technology tips from expert authors in home and office computing, part of the On Podcast Network at informit.com. For great deals on Mr. Excel's books and videos, visit informit.com/Mr. Excel.
Hey, all right, welcome back to the On Home and Office podcast. I'm Bill Jelen. We've been talking about charts, but I have some really strange charts today. It's very common that we need to create these types of charts. They're charts that are showing data of differing orders of magnitude. Now, I have two examples today. One where we have two different series that are completely different, and then another one where the same series stretches from small numbers to large numbers. Let's take a look at how to solve both of these problems. In our first data set, I have two series. One is revenue, which is in thousands, and the other is profit, which is in percents. And when we create a chart from this data set, it's not going to look very good. Let's choose a column chart, 2D column, and we get a chart that appears to only have revenue. However, the legend shows us that there is, in fact, profit there. Well, usually if there's something I don't like in a chart, I try and right-click it, but the profit is so small, I can't even see it to right-click it. So we're going to come here to the Layout tab, and from this first drop-down, choose Series Profit. That way I could select the nearly invisible series down there, and now we could either press Control-1 or choose Format Selection, and we get into the Data Series options. First thing I want to do is change this to a secondary axis. Click Close. Now let's take a look at what that does. That takes the revenue numbers in thousands and puts it along the left axis, and the percentage numbers and puts it along the right axis. Okay, well, the problem that we have now is that for whatever reason, Microsoft, when we go to a secondary axis, decides to plot both sets of data directly on top of each other, which means that in most cases, we can't even see the revenue because it's not tall enough to stick out behind the profit percent. So the solution to this is we have to change one of these series to a different chart type. We're lucky enough that we still have series profit selected, so let's go back to the Design tab, change chart type, and I'll choose a line chart with markers. Click OK, and now you'll see that we can see both sets of data, the revenue as a column chart using the left series, and the profit as a line chart using the right axis. Great way to show two different series on the same chart. Let's take a look at a different problem though. Now, here's a situation where we're plotting all of our models. We show both the forecast and the actual, and we want to see which is greater, the forecast or the actual. Well, because we have a few models that sell in the 20 to 30,000 range, the scale on the chart is so large we cannot make out any detail for the first 10 models. You can't see if it's larger or smaller. Cool trick here, and this trick probably, I'm going to bet that you ran across it somewhere in your math class career. Not saying that you remember it or that you even need to understand exactly what it does, but we're going to right-click on the axis and choose Format Axis. And there's a setting here called a logarithmic scale. We'll choose that, leave the base as 10, and click Close. And what you're going to see is that it basically changes to a logarithmic scale. What does that mean? That means that the distance from 1 to 10 is the same as the distance from 1,000 to 10,000. So that allows us to see more detail for the smaller items. Now, I have no sales here under 100, so I'm going to right-click here again, choose Format Axis, and override the minimum to be 100. Click Close, and you can see that we've now basically created a chart where we can make out the details of both the small models and the large models by choosing a logarithmic scale. Big word from the days of mathematics, basically just means we're zooming in to see the detail for the small items as well as the large items. So there you have it, a couple of tricks, whether we have two different series that need to be plotted on different axes or data in the same series, then we use a log scale in order to make those out.
Thanks for watching the On Home and Office podcast. For more episodes, check us out in iTunes or at informit.com/On Home and Office. Stay tuned for a word from Q Publishing. Q Publishing creates user-friendly technology guides on home and office technologies. Whether you're looking for beginner or advanced information on hardware, software, and gadgets, Q has the solutions you need to learn more fast. We publish a wide array of series to meet your learning needs, including the Business Solutions series, which focuses on everyday business programs such as Excel and Access. The Easy series is geared toward the visual learner looking for step-by-step instructions. The Live Lesson series are video training DVDs, which feature hours of personal instruction with an expert trainer. The On Demand series cuts straight through the clutter, providing concise and graphically rich guides. The Special Edition Using series features instruction from industry-recognized experts on topics such as Office, Photoshop, Windows, and Mac OS. Check out all our series today at informit.com/Q.